Over here at Switch Force, we're very excited for Super Smash Bros. We're very excited for Mario Tennis Aces. We're even excited for Yoshi. But today, we want to take a trip backwards and think and talk about some of the Switch games we missed. What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Zach from Switch Force. Gabe is here as well, as always. And we're giving you our top 5 Switch games that we missed. And we want to know yours as well. If there's a Switch game that you wanted to play but ended up not playing, or you just forgot about, or it somehow escaped your hybrid console, let us know in the comments down below. We'd love to hear about it. But right now, we're going to go through our list. And Gabe, we're going to start with you.
Yes, Fire Emblem Warriors is a game that I really wanted to play, and I just never got around to it. It was a little too overwhelming. I am not that familiar with the Fire Emblem franchise. I'm familiar with certain characters because we see them in Smash, and that's about the extent of it. I remember certain things from a very long time ago, but I haven't played a Fire Emblem game in years. So it was a little bit intimidating to go into this Fire Emblem Warriors game where you had to, presumably know so many of who these characters are to understand what's going on, and never got around to it. And that was a huge bummer because I was excited for it when the game was first announced, right? And we saw the very first teaser trailer that showed it. I got excited. I remember very vividly being excited about that. And then it just kind of came and went. And
That was right around Odyssey time as well. I think all of our focus and our hype was drawn towards Mario and his many kingdoms, and we kind of just... I think the fact that Hyrule Warriors also came before it made it feel expendable at the time.
Yeah, that's another fair point. But yeah, it's a huge bummer that I didn't get to play it. And of course, I can always go back and do so. But, now there's extra content and things that are coming. So maybe that's a good opportunity. But yeah, Fire Emblem Warriors, I missed it.
And I think once we do hear the official announcement or the title of Fire Emblem Switch, very different genre, but it would be a good chance for you to sort of immerse yourself in that world.
And I would have never let that happen to a mainline Fire Emblem game.
Yeah.
I let this happen because it's a Warriors game, and
Right.
hey, it's not my type of thing to begin with, but yeah.
Are you going to pick up Hyrule Warriors for Switch?
Thinking
Since it's
about
Zelda-based?
well, I do love Zelda. I will understand all the characters. I know who everyone is in that game, but it's out in Japan. It's not out here quite yet. We'll see about that. Maybe.
All right.
I'll move on to
Next
the next
up.
game. Very recent one. And, for a lot of these games, we did play a little bit of for videos and such, but, just overall, I missed this too, even though it just came out a couple weeks ago. Or Kirby, Star Allies. I was excited, but then I played the demo and I was like, oh, this is very easy. And then some behind-the-scenes things happened and we didn't get to play Kirby very much. Zach's played it way more than I have. And Zach actually kind of likes it in a little weird way. But yeah, Kirby's another one that I missed. But this one I'm confident I'll go back and play. Fire Emblem, I don't know. Kirby, I think under the right circumstances, playing with the right people. Because now at this point, since I'm going to be playing it for fun only, I'm going to make sure to play with other people. I don't want to play it by myself.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the highlight of the game is the visual and audio experience. It's very charming. It's got really cool environments. The backgrounds are beautiful. And then just mixing the attacks and seeing who you can, wrangle into your friend group is a lot of fun.
I'm going to wrangle you. I'm throwing a heart.
I would love it being Kirby. They're adding me. That little guy with the jester hat. That's basically
that's
me.
basically you, yeah. But yeah, sadly, that's another one that got away. I don't think I'm going to play it anytime soon, just because there's a lot coming. Not necessarily game-wise, but E3, Labo. Oh, Labo's a game. But a lot of things.
Labo is a lifestyle game.
Oh.
Don't just try and label it as a game.
I don't have any cardboard near me other than, I don't know, do a thing.
I have a cardboard cut that literally the scar has not gone away since the beginning of the year. We're 3 months and counting on this cardboard cut. I think what it was Nintendo was like their subtle mark to let me know that Labo wasn't coming, because I definitely got this cardboard cut before Labo was announced, and I still have it. So I think it's gonna last until Labo arrives.
All right,
That's my curse.
But yeah, unfortunately, I did miss the boat a little bit on Kirby, and I hope to at some point still have a venture out there with some friends, but not yet. Next one for me, Zach. Dantaro, a game I was super excited for because it was a very different type of Metroidvania. You can't really move around. Your traversal was limited to, hey, jump from place to place to place.
Right.
And I played it some for a video or two, but it didn't grab me the way I wanted it to. Just stylistically cool, but there wasn't a whole lot there. The gameplay is something I just could never get over, not ability to jump. That wasn't for me. I wish I would have played more of it. I know a lot of people still really like the game. I think it's just one that we both played, and it just wasn't as cool as we hoped.
And if people don't know, Gabe is a really big Metroidvania fan. So you had some big hopes tied to this one.
Yeah,
And I think part of the reason that you're so excited for Messenger is that that's more of a traditional Metroidvania. And Gabe was a massive fan of Axiom Verge. Dandara, it's different. Do you think you'll go back to it?
no, because if I'm being honest, I'll probably go back and play Axiom Verge again before I play Dantaro, which is unfortunate. Like, the music is so cool, and you have a cool protagonist with some very cool hair, but the traversal, like, it was just so hard for me to get over because it's second nature because I've played so many of these games that, like, hey, I want to do certain things and I just can't. And it's just like something in my brain's like, hey, you're supposed to be able to move in a certain way and you can't. So I think it's just a me thing. I don't think the game is like bad by any means. I think I'm just so like weird about Metroidvania games that I felt odd not being able to do things that I felt like I should be able to do.
Yeah, for sure.
After that, though, we're going to move on to a different genre altogether. Tiny Metal. We were excited for Wargroove for a bit, and then that got pushed back. Luckily, Tiny Metal came along, and we were both hyped because it was going to be a strategy game on a platform that we love. And we played some of it, and it wasn't as fun as I thought it was going to be. The combat was still interesting, and the visuals were wholly original. But the story, I couldn't really get into. I didn't know what was going on. There was a lot of, like, warring factions, and the lore just never grabbed me. And I feel like that's why I stopped playing Tiny Metal. I played a very limited amount, and this is another one that just kind of fell by the wayside. At the time, there was other games coming out, though, so maybe that helped. Like, one day I'll go back to Tiny Metal. I think out of the ones
now that Wargroove got pushed again,
yeah, like,
you're not going to be playing that anytime soon.
For sure. How'd you feel about Tiny Metal?
I feel like there's something about certain games where the polish just is a little off, and for me, that's off-putting. And that was kind of the case with Tiny Metal. I was very excited for it. The genre, is one that I enjoy quite a lot. I was pumped for Wargroove. I think at the time I was like, this isn't grabbing me, so I'll just wait for Wargroove. Now Wargroove has been pushed back to the second half of 2018. We don't even have a set date for that. I don't know. You're right, though, about the lore. There's a lot of dialogue and things that I just sort of wanted to skip through. The other thing is, like, I absolutely love Into the Breach, and I know that's not on Switch, but that to me is such a tighter and more enjoyable experience, with more unique and fun mechanics that I guess kind of replaced sort of the turn-based, grid-based, war strategy game that I would have wanted from Advance Wars or Wargroove. I got from Into the Breach instead of Tiny Metal.
I wish that came to Switch, by the way. Unfortunately, we have, it's not happening as far as we know. And that would be nice.
Yes.
Last game on my list, though, that I didn't get to play. This one's
an interesting one. I'm very interested by this.
Well, this one's time has passed. I'm never playing this game on Switch now.
Okay.
For those
of you will, but you won't. Like.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll play the next iteration of it.
Yes.
Hypothetically, if it comes. NBA 2K. Zach and I are both big fans of the NBA. I'm a Knicks fan. He's a fan. No one likes the Pistons.
Okay,
Zach.
the Pistons.
No one likes the Pistons except Zach, and like the 5 people that live in Detroit. Detroit's great.
At least I'm loyal to my local hometown.
Yeah.
Gabe, who's never been to New York.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, because you live in Detroit and anywhere in the last 10 years. Okay, let's stop that. Yeah, I didn't get to play it very much. If I'm being honest, I started playing it on another platform, and I didn't want the redundancies of starting like a whole nother career like on Switch when I already have it, and I don't go out enough. And this is just me being a hermit. I don't go out enough to like have the portable nature of it be like a huge factor in where I'm gonna play 2K. Maybe in the future, next 2K comes to Switch, I'll probably grab it there first and not have another platform be the one where I get it. But since this came out so late, and that was a big turnoff.
A bit of a bummer. It's one that I think surprised people and was one of the maybe not the first, but early indicators. Hey, Switch can do third party really well, and it provided a pretty darn close experience to the other consoles. I nearly added 2K to my list. It was one that I wish I would have played more, because I love 2K. But this is just an odd year where I didn't play 2K very much at all. I didn't play sports games as much at all. I had a lot going on.
Yeah,
a lot going on. But let's take a lot of your list and wrap it up. Fire Emblem Warriors, Kirby, Star Allies, Dandara, Tiny Metal, and NBA 2K18. We'll move to my list, and we'll start with the similarity, which is Fire Emblem Warriors. I was really excited for it. I intentionally didn't play it at E3 because I knew that I would be getting the full version. I guess for some inside baseball, We got Mario Odyssey review code the same day that Fire Emblem Warriors came out, I believe. And so for me, that was just sort of like it sealed the deal. I would much rather play the actual mainline Fire Emblem over Fire Emblem Warriors, and now with Hyrule Warriors coming out, I played Hyrule Warriors on Wii U. I liked it. I didn't love it. So I think that is one that unfortunately is going to be washed away and will be officially washed away by the actual Fire Emblem releasing. Moving on, though, Dragon Quest Builders is one that I'm super bummed I didn't dive into, and I still want to. But there's two odd things there. One, I played the demo and loved it. There was enough of a delay between the demo and the actual game that it's sort of like, you know when you play a game and then you take like a long break and it's very hard to go back?
Yeah.
I felt like that a bit. The other thing is, we know Dragon Quest Builders 2 is coming.
So you want to wait.
I feel a type of way about those kind of incidents where, like, I even feel that way about Bayonetta 2. We don't have a date for Bayonetta 3, but it's like, the new one is on the horizon.
No, well,
why am I going back?
The horizon for Bayonetta might be a little far.
Yes, okay, but Dragon Quest Builders 2 in theory is a smaller horizon, but it's still a quality game. I have it on my Switch. I downloaded it, so I think that is one that I will play. And I know it's one that you were excited for too. Why did you skip out on that?
Time, and for most of these games, it's not us not liking them thing. It's time, because we're two people and we try to run a Switch channel, and there's so much that's coming to Switch, as you guys know. New games announced every single week, and so many of them look so interesting, and we try to do our best to get to everything, but some things are gonna fall by the wayside. And similar to you, Dragon Quest Builders 2 is coming, and it's hypothetically going to be a much improved experience. So I figured, like, hey, I played, it was a long demo too, so I played a solid amount on the demo, like an hour and a half, something like that. I'm like, okay, I really love this, I like where it's going, but there's a sequel coming, so maybe we wait on that.
Yeah, that's always the dilemma, and it's a port dilemma as well. I face that with, like, I've wanted to play Hollow Knight for ages, and I keep waiting, and Team Chariot keeps delaying. And I'm like, come on, guys, I want this game. But another one that I sadly missed the boat on was Battle Chef Brigade. I downloaded it on launch day. I played it for like 15 minutes. I thought it seemed cool, and then it just vanished from my life. And I've heard so many good things since. I've even read an article, I don't remember where it originated, but that Battle Chef Brigade is like the secret best Switch game. And that's a little bit of hyperbole over things like Zelda and Mario, but it's definitely beloved. And it's such a unique concept. It's one that I thought I would get into. It is interesting though, Gabe, and I will say that this is something that I think, as I've grown older, has been harder for me to wrestle with. Games that don't grab you right away, games that have a long build-up, games that have like systems that unfurl over hours and hours. You mentioned it with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where you're like 10 hours in and still getting tutorials. I don't know if I'm just like old and impatient, but those kind of games are like harder for me to really get into, as opposed to something like a Mario or a Celeste, or even like a God of War, a Far Cry, where like right off the bat, you're like, hey, this is the game, this is what I'm doing, and let's go.
Yeah. I'm a little bit more patient when it comes to things like that. You say old and impatient. I think young and attention span just leaving. The phone is sitting.
Restless. Yeah.
Yeah. I see it more that way. But regardless, certain games deserve that. There's been like very amazing games that you didn't like right away, ended up being great. There's some great games that I didn't like right away, and then I ended up liking them a lot. Battle Chef Brigade, I never played. Adult Swim does very cool stuff from time to time. Like, they have some like low-key amazing games in their catalog. They do like great work over there. This one's one I'm confident I'm going to play. I'm just going to wait for a sale. At this point, like, I didn't get it right away, so I might as well just wait for a sale.
I do wonder if the handheld nature of Switch, at least for a player like me, contributes to sort of that, like you said, like lack of focus, because it's so easy to distract yourself with other things. So it's like, hey, I can dive into an Enter the Gungeon run. I can play Celeste. I can play Mario. But when it comes to something longer, bigger, more intense, I am pulled away. And now this makes me feel like a weirdo wimp. So I want to like laser focus and play some hardcore freaking RPG. The next game is not an RPG at all, and that's The End Is Nigh, Gabe. This is one that I played on PC, and I almost feel like that is the death sentence that I need to avoid, because I played it a little on PC to get a taste, and then the Switch version came out later, and I thought, oh, I'm going to continue and finish on Switch. It's a really great game from the creators of Meat Boy. I love platformers in this vein, but I almost feel like having played it a little puts it on the back burner, and I don't want to do that anymore. That's why I've held off so intently on Hollow Knight, because I feel like if I get into it on PC, by the time the Switch version arrives, I'm gonna feel like I've played it, and there won't be that like intensity or impetus to get really into the game.
Yeah, I feel like that's perfectly natural. Like if I play a game somewhere for an hour, 2 hours, it's really hard for me to jump to a different platform. And that's a problem with Twitch getting these games late. Like, don't give us a chance to play somewhere else, because if we do, we might not be able to come back.
Yeah, it's a weird experience. And I'm gonna go all the way back to the launch of the Switch for my first game, and that is gonna be the extra content packs for Shovel Knight. Now, the main game, the base game, I have played way back when, but the new stuff is really cool. And Jake, OG Jake, said he loved that, and it was a fantastic experience. He made videos on it, he beat it, he loved it. And in general, the Shovel Knight stuff is always of quality. And I bought it fully intending to dive into that treasure trove. But I guess I was not Scrooge McDuck enough at the time, and I didn't dump my head straight into the gold. And I set it on the back burner, and it sat at the very bottom. It is the bottommost game on my Switch apps list.
Yeah.
We do have more Shovel Knight coming, so maybe that'll be my opportunity to get back into it. But as you mentioned, with all of these games, the tricky business is Switch gets so much, especially from the indie space, that it's very hard to waltz backwards, because something else in that genre seems to, obviously, Celeste, I played that, and that was going to take precedent over Shovel Knight. And soon Hollow Knight will take precedent over Shovel Knight. It's like, when do I have the space and the time to walk back? But maybe we should, Gabe. Maybe we should go back and tackle some of these games from our lists. And here's what we're going to do. I want to pick one from your list that I think you should tackle, and you're going to pick one from my list that you think I should tackle.
Okay. I'm with it.
I really think, Gabe, that you should give Kirby a go, because I'm super curious to see what you think. And I know that's the one you said you're most likely to play, so this is easy for you.
Yeah.
But I think that you'll find the charm endearing, and come around on it like I did.
I want you to check out Battleship Brigade and let me know how that is, because I'm excited and conceptually very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to check it out and let me know how it is, so I should know I should check it out. So that's the one for you, Battleship Brigade. And I don't think either of our picks is a huge time suck. Suck Kirby. Not that it sucks, like he sucks things up. I wanted to be clear on that. So I think we should both do that.
Sounds good. Let us know in the comments down below what games you have missed and why. Was there anything going on in your life? Was it just because another game was taking your time, or did you completely forget about it and have that brain lapse and now you want to get back to it? Or maybe you don't. But either way, let us know in the comments down below. Our lists are there. Let us know yours, and let us know what you think. If there's any game here that we have to play, please tell us. We'd love to hear. Until that time, everybody, thanks so much for watching Fantastic Day. We love you. For myself and Gabe, Switch Force out.